Hello, everyone. Welcome to my Sunday stock watch. So, this Sunday stock watch is going to be looking a little different than how my Sunday stock watches normally look. I'm going to be talking about what you need to avoid this week and the best way to preserve capital going into this week and what I'm going to be doing going forward. So, I'm not really going to give you guys levels for stocks in this specific video because I want to first and foremost make sure you guys are going to preserve your capital going into a highly volatile week with US getting involved in Iran-Israel war. We don't know what's going to come for that. The news that just came out is Iran shut down one of its biggest um places where oil comes from. I forget what it's called. I don't even think I could pronounce it, to be honest. So that is going to bring even more volatility to the markets. Now, if Iran does then decide to target US bases that are in the area in the Middle East, that is going to be even worse because, as Trump already said, if Iran does that, we're going to come back at them way harder than what we just did, which they did bomb nuclear sites. But if Iran does decide to retaliate against the US, which would be very stupid, looks like the US will go back in to Iran. This will not be a one and done sort of thing. So, for right now, we're waiting to see what will happen, and that could happen at any moment. We don't really know. So, first and foremost, I'm going to be hands off till we get more security come out. Will I be day trading? Yes. Absolutely no swings. Absolutely no swings. I'm going to be setting stops on every single day trade I enter. I'm going to be taking as much caution as I possibly can. Am I already looking for trades right now? Honestly, I am not looking for trades right now. I really don't know what will come out of the markets going into this week. And when my edge isn't there because of high volatility, I'm not going to trade without my edge being there, obviously. So why should you be trading? If you are not comfortable with this next week, the good thing about day trading is that you don't have to trade every single day. You can call it off. You know, you don't need to be trading. And especially for those people that use prop firms, be very careful about their rules on news and how much, on how much the market can be down when you're trading on their prop firm. Be paying attention to that because you can easily get your account closed if you do not follow the rules. I mainly really don't trade prop firms too often. I have a couple funded accounts open right now, but I don't really use them too much. So I will probably not use them at all this week because I don't want them to get closed. That would suck. But anyways, be very cautious and remember that going into this next week. So let's get into what economic data we have besides just war news going on, which we do have a lot, which is why this week is also just extremely volatile. And then overnight market just opened, so I'll, get into that. But for this week, we have US services PMI, so not much going on tomorrow, but Tuesday we do have Powell speaking at bright and early, 30 minutes after the market opens. And we also have consumer confidence come out at the same exact time. Awesome. Wednesday, not too much going on. But on Thursday, we do have a lot going on. We have second revision of GDP. We have US trade balances, advanced retail inventories. That will all be important. Durable goods orders. And then we have a Fed president speaking. And then on Friday, we have consumer sentiment, personal income, personal spending, all that good stuff going on. And I thought Powell was speaking twice this next week. Let me find out. Okay, yeah, we do have Powell twice this week, which is exactly what I thought. I don't know why it didn't show up in that calendar. But we do have Powell speaking on Tuesday and on Wednesday, both at 7 a.m., for me at least, on the Pacific. So 30 minutes after the market opens, both on Tuesday and Wednesday, we have Powell speaking. And we all know, majority of us trade, right after the market does open. So I would maybe just be very hands off and be very cautious going into this next week. Now, overnight market did just open, and as it won't show up on my charts obviously because it's overnight. I will be going over it with you guys, so just give me 1 second. Okay, so as we already see right here, the market is looking pretty red, overnight market. Take a look at Qs. So Qs is currently sitting at 523, which is significantly lower from Friday close, around 526 is what we closed at, around there. Okay, so yeah, we are continuing to dump a bit. Okay. MSTR and coin are also down a very good amount because Bitcoin dipped below and under 100. So we're now sitting below there as well. Yeah, everything else is down a nice significant amount except gold. We know gold kind of inverses the general stock market because when people are moving their money out of the stock market, they're going to look to move their money into stronger, safer assets. Gold being one of them, it is a commodity. But the thing is that US dollar inverses gold, and US dollar is supposed to be going kind of strong right now. So we'll see if that inverses gold and gold ends up, getting some downside. But as we already see for right now, everything is down, a good amount. Yeah. So going into tomorrow, please just be really hands off. Please be really safe. Be careful. I don't really want to go over too much in this video. I don't want to give you guys too much analysis because you should just be very hands off and go into this next week very carefully. Will there be great opportunities? I believe so. But it's not really my place to, try to tell you guys that because I don't know who my general audience is. I don't know what type of trading skills you guys have. I don't know if you're beginners or not. So I am straying away from trying to give analysis going into this next week. I'm just going to be, giving you guys what is happening this next week, what type of volatility we got going on, and what the market is looking like as overnight has now opened up. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my Sunday Stock Watch. Please go into this next week extremely carefully, especially if you're a beginner. If you're an advanced trader, you know that there will be opportunities going on. But for beginners, don't feel like you're going to miss out or anything because you're not going to miss out. It is just highly volatile. I suggest, maybe not to trade if you're a beginner. But anyways, thank you guys so much. I will be seeing you all later, and I'm going to host a webinar for you all soon. So make sure to go check out my Instagram to see when that is. But thank you all, and I will see you all later.